Hello guys, hello friends, welcome to the channel, BetterKM2 here. Today I want to talk about the problems in World of Tanks that go beyond the four main issues that frustrate everyone. RNG, matchmaking, OP tanks and cheating. Because yes, beside those four major problems, there are dozens of other issues in the game. You have probably noticed them too, or while watching this, you will say, I know these problems as well. But before we start, I have a small request. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it. Also, check out my other videos, maybe you will like them too, and you can become a subscriber. Remember, the more we are, the louder Wargaming hears us. Accepting everything without questioning is a behavior for animals and slaves. If something is wrong, we must speak about it. Speaking up is the most human thing to do. So let's go back to the topic. Problems beyond the big four. Let's skip the RNG, matchmaking, cheating, and OP tanks. Let's talk about the other problems, other major issues. So my first question is this game about skill or system? This is something I have always wondered. How much does a player really matter? Can a very skilled player carry a game alone? And if you think mathematically, there are 15 versus 15 equals 13 players in this game. In theory, each player has 6.6% impact, but in reality, bad players has 2 or 4% impact, average players has 5 or 8% impact, good players has 10 to 20% impact. But this assumes everything is balanced, which it isn't. There are many variables in the game, like RNG, matchmaking, tank types, map positions. So the truth is, a single player can never decide the game 100%. At best, they influence around 25%. And I'm not saying they cannot destroy all tanks or they cannot make high damages. I'm saying overall game influence. According to the AI calculations, for a player to deal 10k plus damage, 8 or 9 players in their own team must be below 45% win rate. 9 enemies must also be below 45% win rate. And that kind of match appears roughly once in 16k battles. Do 3 or 4 bad players decide the game? Answer is yes, according to all AI models. Because if there are 3 bad players in a team, they equals 20% of the team collapsing. Because they causes flank collapse and early HP losses and no spottings. This is a kind of snowball effect. 3 bad players usually lead to 6 players dying. So carrying a game, you can be very skilled. Can you really carry a game? Yes, but once in 16k match. And there must be conditions. You must be in the perfect positions. You must have the perfect map knowledge. You must have very, very good RNG. And your enemies behave like idiots. And they must make stupid mistakes. If one of them is missing, you cannot carry the game. So, conclusion, yes, a very good and very skilled player may carry the game, but only when the system allows it. So, final sentence for this question. Yes, there is skill in this game, but very, very, very low rate. It's not enough alone. So, why does this matter? Why did I ask this question? Because the game no longer gives a sense of achievement now. You can play perfectly and you can still lose. You can be AFK and you can still win. So it feels like you have no effect in the games anymore. And players are asking nowadays, if I'm only going to get frustrated, why should I play? That's why many people camp with sniper TDs in these days. Wargaming must give that feeling back. RNG and MM are taking it away. Skill is not important for this game anymore. it isn't the main factor. The system is main controller in this game. And second question, is this game, World of Tanks, is it free to play or pay to progress game? Let me make a little calculation here. If you have premium days in your account, you will have 50% more credits and experience. If you have boosters, you will have 50 or 100% credits and experience. If you have WOT Plus or New or WOT Plus Pro, you will have 35% more XP and credits. So when you calculate them all, roughly you will have 4 times or 6 times better credits and experiences. So in this condition, grinding time is for a free-to-play player from tier 1 to tier 10. He needs to spend 400 hours or 600 hours for a tier 10 tank. If you are a paid player, you need to spend 80 or 130 hours for a tier 10 tanks. So in these conditions, this is no longer just pay to progress, it's optimized progression for money. The gap is too big and unfair, so that's why people are angry. If you pay, you are the king. If you free to play, you are a peasant. And there is another question in my mind right now. Why isn't there enough tutorial content at the beginning of the game? Is the whole point just to blow up the bot tanks roaming around? For example, why aren't destructible items shown? Or why isn't the spotting mechanics explained in detail? Because if these were explained at the very beginning of the game, the player might think they don't know how much they need to know, and they can quit the game before even start. And also, the system deliberately doesn't explain these things because the player will be repeatedly targeted until they learn these rules. So this way, the big players will feed on them. The game doesn't teach itself to us. And I have lots of other questions. Why do some maps have 45 win rate imbalance? Why are there choke points? Why is spotting unbalanced? Is this really a team game? And if yes, why no communication systems? Why there is no command structure hierarchy? And why there is only 3-player platoons? If it's not a team game, why do we call this game as a team game? So, as final words, kill is no longer a factor in this game anymore. Factors like RNG and matchmaking are stealing that from us. Secondly, money has become everything in this game. Wargaming might even start selling good RNG for money. The complexity of the system makes many new players frustrated and quit the game at level 5 or 6. The maps are unbalanced, teams are extremely unbalanced. This is a problem beyond matchmaking, because if there are 4 TDs in a match, 2 on your side and 2 on enemy side, the 2 on your side might have a 30% win rate, and the 2 on the opponent side might have a 60% win rate. This is a problem beyond MM, and all of these stack on top of RNG plus matchmaking plus OP tanks plus cheating. And meanwhile, Wargaming keeps selling premium tanks instead of fixing issues. I try to gather this data using AI, so it may not be 100% accurate. That's all for now, and don't forget to like and subscribe. It's free, guys. See you in the next one. Bye bye.